Hello, and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at a team around Haxorus. You're going to see here first game we're going to have still our Metagross. I think I swapped it up afterwards somewhere to Excadrill, just because I think it's a little bit better Excadrill and I kind of wanted to use it because I basically used Metagross in next to nearly every team that I played so far on this channel. So I kind of wanted to flip up a little bit and use a different steel type. Excadrill is one of the most common, if not the most common steel type in this meta. I find it a little bit difficult to build teams that are not built around it. Like either you rebuild a team around Excadrill or you just don't play it, in my opinion. And here it's more like a team around Haxorus, so it's a little bit tricky as well. But Excadrill has so much potential, as my opponent also plays one here right now, but also Haxorus has so much potential. Haxorus is basically, in my opinion, the definition of an anti-meta pick. I know that a lot of people are going to say, oh, this Pokemon is meta or whatever, because it's kind of commonly used sometimes at least. But in my opinion, it's not really meta too much because, like, I don't know, maybe I face one Haxorus every 2 days or something. Like, it's not completely gone, but it's definitely not meta at all. And Haxorus has a unique spot in the meta, being a dragon type that has access to counter, which means it's going to be able to counter steel types as a dragon type, which is cool. And you're still going to be able also to counter something like the normal types, or like the Snorlax, which is kind of common right now in the meta. And it's a pretty cool Pokemon, to be honest. It's such a unique one where it doesn't really make too much sense that it's actually working that well, but it does work pretty well. Main reason for this is, like, there are different kind of dragons as well available in the meta which just have better stats than the Haxorus. Haxorus only caps at like 3580 CP or something, while you have like Dragonite being like 300 CP higher, and also some other dragons like the Garchomp being even higher than that. So, like, you don't really have the best stats, you don't really run a stab move as a fast move, and still you're going to be able to destroy a lot of Pokemon. It's a little bit tricky sometimes to play this team, to be honest. Having a Dragonite lead is something that you don't really want to face with this team, of course, as you can still go for one Dragonclaw, get a shield, and swap out into your Snorlax. But nowadays, Dragonite, of course, going to run the superpower, which would do some nice damage here, but they're actually running Hurricane. I've seen more and more people running Hurricane again. I guess it's kind of a similar trend towards the Gyarados right now with Hydro Pump, which is also kind of interesting, as Hydro Pump Gyarados has some potential against fairy types as a safe swap, and now I guess like Hurricane version of Dragonite has some potential again as well. But we will see here that they're going to actually KO me here, which is kind of unfortunate, but we can go into our Excadrill, we can farm up a little bit extra and go for one Rock Slide immediately. I guess I could have overfarmed because we know that they only have not very effective moves here, but we see the Gyarados coming in and we kind of get hardwalled and we can surrender. Next opponent, we're going to have a Magnezone against us. Magnezone going to be a pretty nice matchup, and what is also a pretty nice matchup is this matchup against the Gyarados. Because they are running the Waterfall version, you're going to be able to resist the fast move and the main charge move there with the Awkward Tail as well. And we can soak up all the energy now on our Snorlax, but I don't know actually if this is the way how you're supposed to play it or if people are just greedy. I see so many Gyarados that are just going straight for Crunch on their first move. I'm not sure if they're just fishing for the debuff chance, in the off chance that that might help them somewhere, or if it's just a new trend, or I don't know what it is, but it's kinda weird, to be honest. So yeah, we see a Haxorus against us here, which is actually a pretty big nightmare for us. The best counter against this Haxorus team is actually Haxorus, as it's going to be able to beat both of your Pokemon in the back and also kinda your lead if it's like it's a neutral matchup. Of course, it's the same Pokemon. Also, fighting types can be a little bit tricky. That's why I also sometimes run the Metagross instead of the Excadrill in the back. I think maybe Metagross is even better. But yeah, we will see here that they go ahead, go for a Night Slash, nearly KOing us, but we can still go for one Drill Run here to KO the opponent, and we will be able to outspeed this Magnezone to a charge move and win this game here, but still a close one. The opponent's Haxorus nearly got it back there, and it's going to be a good game. Very interesting team actually of the opponent there. I think the opponent's team is actually really decent. Like, if you want another team for Haxorus, even though our team just beat them right now, I really like the idea of the opponent's team we had prior, because you're going to be able to have an answer in the lead that completely destroys like fairy types. You have the Gyarados that is supposed to get them out of the way with Waterfall, and you will also be able to have the Haxorus in the back for yourself to give the Magnezone some coverage against something like the Excadrill, which is going to be really nice. So I really like the team from the opponent prior. But yeah, we see here that we can go for some Rock Slides against the Dragonite. Dragonite will not be able to take one, but they might be getting to another charge move here before, and they do. Superpower comes through, we can go into our Snorlax, get some energy lead here, and we will be able to farm them down in time. And we will be able to see Gyarados coming in. It's the Waterfall version. I'm pretty sure they have another Togekiss in the back, and I'm pretty sure we can forfeit again. This is a team that I think faced 3 times in a row with this team where I just have literally no answers for it, which is super annoying, like Triple Flyer. I don't know why this team is still around. Like Triple Flying, like basically Togekiss, Gyarados, and Dragonite in any kind of combination. It's really weird how people sometimes play it. The smartest way would be to lead the Gyarados with Waterfall, have the Dragonite as a safe swap, and then the Fairy type in the back. But I'm still not sure why Triple Flyer is still a thing, to be honest, but I guess it still is, and we have to deal with it. We see an Excadrill here. I'm pretty sure that they're going to get to another one here. Okay, we can them farm out. Okay, that's very nice. We see the Haxorus coming back in. We can take one move. If we can take a move, we have to take the first move, because they can boost, of course, with the Night Slash. But we can go ahead, go for one drill run here. We'll get the shield from the opponent. We will not be able to get to the next move, but we have to shield here definitely to actually KO them. And we have to try to swap out now immediately into our Snorlax, seeing that we get a Metagross against us and we can forfeit again. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Next opponent, we're going to see a Dragonite. Dragonite lead, again, not the ideal scenario here. We're going to go for a Dragonclaw there. Going to swap out into our Snorlax. We have to shield here. It's a superpower most likely, which would do some massive damage. And they are going into the Excadrill. This is fine for us. We have superpower. We don't want to throw immediately. We actually kind of want them to throw 2 charge moves first. Let's see if they want to do it. They go for 1, but we can go now for our superpower. The superpower will do some nice damage. And we will see that they are going to go for another charge move here, which allows us to get some energy with our own Excadrill, hoping that they have something weak in the bag. We kind of got some damage on this Dragonite. This should KO them, hopefully. They're going to shield up. This means they're weak to me in the bag. I can shield this up as well now. Might be a superpower. Let's see. It's going to be a Dragonclaw. Fine for us. They're going to swap out, and they're going to swap out into a Metagross. And this is the main reason why the Excadrill is so commonly used. This Pokemon is a hard answer for both Metagross and the Dragonite there. So we can now go for one Rock Slide and we will be able to knock this thing out. Actually, it's a lie. Against Dragonite, I think you actually lose nearly every shield scenario because you need to hit 2 moves, while they just now have access to the superpower, which is flipping this match up. So yeah, it was at least a wall for both of them before the superpower on Dragonite came around. But yeah, we can KO the opponent there, which is going to be very nice. We see Gyarados coming in. We can weaken it a little bit, and we can stay in here because we can even get to another move. They might want to shield this move as well, as we're going to get them very low, and we will get their shield back. Now we have switch advantage. We have the same shields. They have some energy advantage here, which doesn't do that much against the Snorlax here anyway. And they swap into their own Snorlax. I made a really crazy bad mistake there. I should have just went straight for the superpower with my Snorlax first. Like, I have literally no idea why I didn't do this, and this kind of dooms me here. They go for one superpower. I can go for my Drera now, but it makes this matchup so much worse, as I could have just got so much damage on them before. They would have been in range for only one drill run there, which would have been fine. But still, we still are not down yet. We can go for one Rock Slide here, and we still have some energy stored on our Snorlax, which is looking good so far. I just have to hope that they don't get to 2 moves, and I hope that they don't get the debuff here. They get the debuff here. Can we still reach the Body Slam in time, hopefully? Or we can even farm them down with lick damage. It's even better, and we will be able to win the game here. As we see the next opponent coming in, as we see Haxorus against Excadrill. Again, a very good lead for us. Excadrill is a very common lead. I've known that people got actually the Excadrill lead 11 times in a row before. That must have been nice for them. But yeah, we see here Primarina coming in. Primarina actually going to not be able to win anything here. Like, they have no chance of flipping switch as far as I know, at least. As long as I shield my moves, because I should be able to farm them all the way down now. And them shielding is actually better for me, because now I have a ton of energy. And I will be able to go for some more moves against the Excadrill coming in here. And they're going to shield this move up, and they're going to try to catch the next move, which didn't work out. And we will be able to go for one more Rock Slide, go into our Snorlax and win the game. There is nothing my opponent can do here anymore. We can just go for one Body Slam, and we should be able to easily farm them down now with the lick damage of the Snorlax. Go into our Haxorus, and we can go for one Night Slash, which will basically put them into range where we can knock them out. I'm not sure why they're still staying in, but they just let them getting farmed down there, which is fine. As we see the next opponent. Next opponent going to have Florges in the lead. Florges in the lead is of course a little bit tricky for us, as we have a Dragon in the lead. And they're going for our charge move here, trying to do some damage against our Snorlax. We go for our charge move as well, which now underlines the switch clock, which is going to be pretty nice. But they have a Gyarados anyway now, which is having access to Waterfall. And I'm pretty sure they have to throw, but I'm not sure. Maybe they can actually farm me all the way down. Let's see, we can go for another charge move here. As they go for letting this move go through. They actually can farm me all the way down. Very ballsy play there. I hope that they don't have Outrage, because then the game was basically over anyway. And bye-bye Haxorus, and bye-bye Excadrill, and this game is over. Yeah, sometimes stuff like this happens as well, and it's kind of tricky, but yeah, we see here nickname that as the person that won the Bremen Regional last time, where I also attended. Actually funny, I saw someone commenting on Reddit today about how I lost the Bremen Regional and how I should be getting better at reading my opponent's teams. And I literally lost Bremen Regional to lag when the game was completely broken still, but hey, I had to replay twice against someone where I hardwalled them in both games and then lost because they hardwalled me in the third game. I mean, I walled them like twice before, but like, if the game doesn't work, the game doesn't work. But yeah, I find this sometimes funny, but yeah, this dude won the regional for Bremen then, which is fine. I'm really looking forward to attending those new regionals, because now the game actually works. It feels like so good recently playing the game still. Of course, I know that some people had some issues recently, which I didn't have, but a lot of people had issues there. But now at least it feels like, also it looks like on stream and whatever, that the game finally is on a level where you can kind of play competitively as it wasn't before. By the way, great catch by my opponent here. What a nice catch on the rock side there. I even overfarmed so they couldn't catch, and they still caught my move there. I guess I should also definitely anticipate my opponent's team better. That must have been the reason why I lost there. But it's fine, because we can still go for one rock slide here, and we will be able to knock out the opponent's Dragonite. And even though they caught the move perfectly, it didn't help them. Next opponent here. We see a Dragonite in the lead. Very awful for us, to be honest, as we can go for one Dragon Claw again, trying to get there in time, and we will be able to get there in time. You're always going to get to the Dragon Claw before the opponent gets to any move. We're going to shield up here. That's going to be a superpower anyway. And we will be able to go for some superpowers against the incoming Shadow Snorlax, which is okay for us. We can go for one Body Slam first, as this one will do some nice damage as well, and we will get this thing a little bit lower. We are not in range for one superpower KO yet, I think, but we're getting close. We can go for our own superpower, and they're actually going to let this move go through, which means I'm going to swap into my own Haxorus, keeping my Snorlax at decent health, farming down the opponent's Snorlax, and now we can realign my Pokemon. I see that the opponent's Dragonite coming back in. I think I have a move start on my Snorlax, and I think it's my better matchup, to be honest. And I will be able to go for one Body Slam here, trying to get a shield. I get my shield, and I am also going to throw another move against the Gyarados. Please don't have Waterfall. Of course they have Waterfall. I keep my move alive, just in case I can throw it against the Gyarados at the Dragonite later on, but I'm pretty sure I can't. I guess I should have actually thrown it here, but even then, the opponent's Dragonite had some energy, so there is no way I can win this game, and this is going to be a loss. Again, I'm not sure about this team too much. It's still definitely fun to play, And Haxorus is definitely a good anti-meta Pokemon, but it was a little bit tough to play this team. So that's going to be it for the video. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one, have a great rest of your day, and bye!